This has been with Retro Funhouse, and we're outside the Dfw Thrift Convention in the Arlington, Texas area. And we're here, and they're about to open in a few minutes, but as you see this video, but they've got a huge crowd of people waiting to get in. A bunch of people parking and people walking in as we were walking in. We actually got here a few minutes late, but the line is huge, so it's really crazy. If you can see some of this, there's a lot of people. They're excited. The inside is packed with like 200 vendors. So you guys got to be ready for this. And check out JNJ'S Vintage Retro. Thank them for letting us come out. They are super pumped. You can see there's Jen from J&J. She's trying to control the crowds. It's pretty cool. But let's take a look at the crowd. So it's a really big place. It's lit up. It's inside because where we live in the state of Texas, it gets really hot in the summer and humid. So the fact that this is an indoor event, that makes it even a lot better. They've got a concession stand so you can get food. That's pretty awesome. I see all kinds of retro stuff that you can get, and there's no telling what we're going to buy and how much we're going to buy. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff out here. You've got shoes, you've got all kinds of candles and just all kinds of old school knickknacks and clothes and some stuffed animals. I collect stuffed animals because stuffed animals are cool, especially if they're from back in the day when I was a kid. There's all kinds of stuff going on. There's all kinds of people that are into the vintage retro clothing and gear. So there's a lot of that going on that you'll see here. But we're going to be videoing as many vendors as we can, and what we see and what we find and what we buy. We're going to have fun. Let's go. You've got some of the just classic stuff from the 90s. This stuff I wore when I was a kid. I mean, it's just all kinds of t-shirts you'll find here. Look at all this old school stuff, just great vintage clothing. All kinds of cool stuff here, all the Puma gear. There's all the stuff you wore back in the early 90s, late 80s, really great stuff. I mean, you name it, they've got it here in this thrift convention. It's pretty awesome. So one of the first vendors we stopped to talk with of the Mini, Sergio here, he's going to tell you a little about what he's got, how you can find them, and come check them out. They're here.
What's up, guys? So out here, this is our logo right here, so if you're familiar with that, obsolete streetwear. We're coming from Mesquite, technically Dallas, so that's where we're from. We're working on the website, so you have to buy online. Here we carry multiple things, you know, like button-downs, not just shirts. We also got the vintage things, you know, simple shirts, jackets. We got it all, but check us out and shout out to Retro for shouting us out.
It's really live and it's really loud. Got a DJ playing over there, and I think they're going to have a band playing too, so that's pretty cool to have. So another little spot here that we found a booth. This is pretty cool. I've never seen one of these, but you got the photo booth. You grab a prop and strike a pose. It's $5 to take a picture. I mean, look at the cool stuff they got here. The cool little setups. That's pretty cool. So if you're here, or if you're already here, or if you're watching this, and next time they have another one of these events, which they will coming soon. Not going to give away any info on that. They'll do all that. But you see stuff like this, pretty cool. I mean, $5 for a picture. You can strike a pose. Strike a pose. Ever see the Street Fighter cartoon, or the cartoon, the movie? The Street Fighter movie's right here. I didn't even know they made action figures of Street Fighter, but you got the Dream Team USA figures. These were really big back in the 90s. They were really huge for a lot of collectors. I actually never had any, but I did want some. It's really cool to see this stuff. The 92 Dream Team right there. You can see Jordan and Magic. You got the Monopoly Pokemon. Pokemon is so big and so huge right now. You've got the Pudge Rodriguez, the bad boy of the NBA, Dennis Rodman. You got the Beanie Babies here. This is pretty cool stuff. And you got the classic, look at this, the Pepsi long neck. Man, that's really cool. Is that, I think that's Shaq. Look at that, isn't that cool? Never seen that. One thing I really like about any kind of convention, especially a thrift convention this big, is when you come across tables that have all the little figurine, knick-knack toys, because there's so many, and I really like collecting Pez. There's so many different Pez here. You got all the little, look, California raisins. I grew up on the California raisins. You see California raisins? I don't know if anybody ever remembers California raisins, but man, these were huge. Ooh, I might get this, to tell you the truth. I probably am gonna get this, because it's from 1987. That's a California raisin, but they got a lot of great stuff. Take a look at the great stuff. So a lot of vintage t-shirts, vendors out here. A lot of people love that stuff. I like that stuff. It's cool to see that stuff back. That's what's a big thing. But there's got racks of just stuff, and it's great. I know Chris is going to be over here looking, but look at the cool stuff they've got hanging. We got our vendors right here. They're hanging out. Hopefully they're making money. But look, you got Storm. I mean, you got Stone Cold Steve Austin. I mean, wrestling stuff from the 90s. It's huge, and I grew up in the 90s wrestling. I grew up in the 80s wrestling. But I mean, look at this. You got the Doors. You got Def Leppard. You got Batman Returns. I went to the theater to see that as a kid. That's how old I got. But you got Barkley with the Suns. I remember Barkley with the Suns. And that's just tip of the iceberg. They've got right behind Yankee, the cameraman, 2 racks full. So if you like vintage clothing, they got it here, and there's tons of vendors. Show them some love. Come spend the money. They'll take your money, because money is king. Give them some cash. Give them whatever you got. Help them pay the bills, pay the rent, and keep getting this great stuff. Take a look. If you really like the vintage pennants of sports teams, they got some cool ones right here. You got the Stars Championship from '99. I remember that. You got the back-to-back Detroit Pistons, the bad boys of the NBA at the time. That's really cool to see. You got the Chicago Bulls and the Portland Trailblazers. I remember this series because I actually watched it as a kid. You guys like Clyde Drexler, of course, MJ himself, and I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. This is the one that really catches our eye because we are New York Yankee fans. Check this out. This is really cool. From 2000, New York Yankees pennant. And Yankee the cameraman, if you can see that thumbs up, his middle name is Yankee. So this is really cool from 2000, 21 years ago. Can you believe that? Okay. So another booth that we've got here with all the awesome vintage tees. They got rack after rack after rack after rack. So many racks of stuff. So much great stuff. You got the Bulls back to back right here. Chicago Bulls were the team back in the day, especially with MJ. You got so much cool stuff. People are shopping left and right, buying some cool gear. So it's cool to see, and people are just shopping and having a great time. Okay. So we're at another booth, and I'm digging the shirt. Look at the shirt.
What's going on?
Old school right here. They got the old Nintendo NES controllers.
Yeah.
And you got the Pokemon mask.
Got the Pokemon.
Tell us, what's your name, sir?
Alex, I'm with Vintage Store Finds and Luxury Designs. We came out here to, first time doing this one here, so thought we come out and check it out. Everybody has a lot of good stuff.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of
Let's come on out.
A lot of great stuff. The place is getting packed. When we got here, as you see in the early part of the video, there was a huge line of people. I mean, look, they got everything. There's Pokemon here. There's vintage clothes. There's candles. There's earrings. I mean, you name it, they got it. They've even got a turtle van over here. Look, the turtle van. Ooh, I never got that as a kid. And just to have the box would be cool. The turtle van. You got the turtles here. I had all the turtles with a giant Michelangelo. There's the turtle van right there. You see that turtle van right there? That was the thing I never got. But there's all kinds of cool stuff. And what's cool about this convention is there's everything, a little bit of everything for everybody here. There's all kinds of great stuff and products. And look at this great stuff you've got here. So many items. Anything that you're looking for, they probably have a vendor that sells it. I see is that one of the Chip and Dales?
Yes.
Is that Chip or Dale?
That's a good question.
It's Chip or Dale. Let me know what you think.
Oh, it's bubble tea.
Look, and here's
It's not bubble tea.
R2. It's only his head. He's been decapitated. These are really cool. We might find some of the other members of the team because they're everywhere here today. And we're going to see if they want one of these. So we will be back. And stuff like this always gets me. Come over here and let's check this out. Anything that has stuffed animals, especially if there's stuff that I remember, that's pretty cool. We got Kermit the Frog, got Bowser Koopa, you got Woodstock, there's Snoopy, there's Snorlax. I mean, you name it, it's here. The Lion King, Simba, Winnie the Pooh, and Tigger too. Alrighty then, there's a lot of sports memorabilia over there. But one thing with Chris on the Funhouse team likes to look at, anything with the shoes. Look. Heavenly Kicks. All kinds of great shoes here. And I know Chris will be over here looking if he hasn't already. But I mean, you want sneakers, you want Jordans, you want to have your Nike, they got it here. You got to come show these guys some love. It's pretty cool. Kicks are really big. And especially when they're heavenly. Cool. minors, whatever. They also got some for kids. Look at this. Look at that. Isn't that something? They even got them for kids. So if you like shoes and you wear Jordans and you want them for your newborn or your toddler, hey, they got some right here at this convention. Like I said, we've come across so much great stuff. I mean, baby shoes, adult shoes, vintage clothes, jewelry, soaps, handmade items. I mean, man, there's so much to see. We're going to go back to see a lot of these vendors, so take a look.
Two in particular that I enjoy because I finally have the game. It's called Naruto Shippuden. During the game, you get transformed into these crazy monsters and all this stuff. So during the Naruto game, you can actually play as Naruto's big transformation as the fox, where he's turned into the fire fox. That's called Korrigan. Then there's also Sasuke, Naruto's best friend slash frenemy, which also turns into this one of my most favorite ones. Because I'm a huge Naruto fan. I've been watching the Netflix series for a very long time. The reason why I chose these two in particular is because they are amazing and they have all these cool details and stories behind both of them, behind both literal, like both people, Naruto and Sasuke.
Vintage clothing here. A lot of great stuff there. You've got some custom design stuff here. There's all kinds of stuff there. You've got some, I mean, you just got people that are just selling anything that people love and enjoy. You've got, I mean, you got soap products over here. You've got kids stuff over here. You got all kinds of great kids stuff over here. You got all kinds, look at the Mr. T Chia right here. You got the Adams Farm right here, and they're selling all kinds of great stuff right here. See all that? Really cool stuff. If you're hungry, they got stuff you can sit right here and you can eat. You can have a good time, you can have fun. You got the lady running across from us. And you got all this stuff right here as well. Look at this great stuff here. I mean, just so much cool stuff here. You got a whole bunch of ladies if you like bags and shoes. You got people everywhere. There's people all over the place. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff here. People are eating. You got the DJ playing. You got all kinds of vintage setups here and all kinds of stuff. I mean, you name it, it's here. Look at all these vendors. I mean, everywhere. I bet you that's Diamond Dallas Page. You got Master Universe. You got Sting. You got some, I mean, we're going to have to get on that side just to look. You got blankets here. Look at this. This is crazy. If you're hungry, they got food. We got people dancing while they're waiting. It's great. This is a great event. You got people getting some food. They're having a great time. They're enjoying the music. Got a line of people waiting. We're going to go over here, and there's more stuff here. As you can see, there's people everywhere. There's people all over the place. They got all kinds of great stuff here. It's just it's crazy. It's amazing. Okay, so we just passed a bunch of vendors. You got vendors here. You got vendors there. You got vendors there. I mean, there's vendors here. There's vendors there. There's vendors there. Everywhere you look is a vendor. You even got vendors here for the dogs. I mean, dog treats. Come on. Let's keep going. You got all this great stuff here. You got more clothes. You got stuff for the ladies, you know. You got people all over the place. They're everywhere you look. There's people everywhere. Look at all these people. There's so many people in this place. You got vendors all on this side as well. So you got all kinds of great stuff. You got a Super Nintendo being played while he's here. It's even better. Look at it. You got all this great stuff all around us. There's so many things here that you can just play and check out. You get some vendors here. See, and you've got, I mean, man, there's so much stuff here, so many vendors. There's a few more towards the end. Let's go check out the end. You've got Chris here. They're shopping. What? So you got what Chris got here right now. What did he buy? He bought Sting, everybody. Sting with the belt and a whole bunch of figures. Because of music. So then you go on this side, you've got some more stuff here. Alcohol ink art. You see that? Now we're gonna. Thank you. We got one of their cards. You got another vintage setup, and they've got it signed up with Old Bear Vintage right here, and they've got all kinds of bins, and it's got it marked with all kinds of stuff here that you can get. I mean, it's just great stuff. Look at this. Even got the sign with the neon green, so they make sure they see it. So I mean, it's just great. There's so much. You got jewelry over here, and you got. It's a huge building. There's a lot of people. There's more clothing here as well. You got the Good Vibes Collective right here. They've got a lot of great racks with a lot of good stuff here as well. They got the Jason All dealer. You got the Crow back here. People shopping, having fun. It's just great. And look at you got. You don't know diddly, see? And they've got all their stuff out here set up. It's a lot of cool stuff. There's even vendors here with this stuff. Look at all this great stuff. All this great stuff here. I mean, everywhere you look, it's something. You got your stuff. There's so many plushes here that I'm going to probably pick up. And it's going to be insane because my wife's going to think I'm crazy. I mean, you got artwork here. We're going this way. You got the everything is $10, right? That's even better when you know exactly how much you're spending. So much great stuff from the way back kids right there. That's what I'm talking about. See, you got more, all kinds of frames and all kinds of, I mean, it's vintage. There's so much to look at. So many great items that you can just pick up and purchase. You got all kinds of just stuff that people created themselves and made. So you get